Clippers are expected to be in action tomorrow. Stephen A. Smith is joining us now. Stephen A., what is your reaction to this story?
Well, obviously I was appalled. But to be quite honest with you, I wasn't too surprised. I've known several players that have played for Donald Sterling in the past, in particular Baron Davis, who's been on the record very publicly decrying some of the stuff that was spewed in his direction when he was the star player for the Clippers organization, telling stories about how he would be on the court and Donald Sterling would be sitting at courtside with one of his female acquaintances, spewing all kinds of rhetoric in his direction. So to say that it's a surprise, I'm not going to go that far, but at the same time, to consider the fact that he is an owner in the league, that you've got such a reputable individual like Chris Paul as the star of your team, along with Blake Griffin, when you've handed over pretty much control of basketball operations to a Doc Rivers, and to hear that you're spewing this kind of rhetoric is obviously appalling. It's very disturbing, and there's no doubt about it that the league itself, Adam Silver specifically, has to take action. It's not something that you can leave up to the Clippers organization. As a matter of fact, I've spoken to a couple of people within the Clippers organization over the last few hours, and they're hoping that Adam Silver, the commissioner, steps in and handles this appropriately, to be quite honest with you.
With the folks that you've talked to inside of that organization, this Clippers team in the midst of the postseason, what are you hearing about how they're going to be handling this?
Oh, first of all, they're furious. Let's get that out of the way first. I mean, they are absolutely livid. They're appalled. I don't know what they would say or do to this man, Donald Sterling, their owner, if he was in front of their face at this particular juncture. According to one player, I was actually told within the hour that players were considering actually not playing, not themselves, but their family members, their confidants, their loved ones were encouraging them to take a stand and not to play. A matter of fact, one of the things that they've heard is that obviously if this was something of a gay slur or what have you, it would have been obviously something that was reported and you would see people taking a stand. So obviously they're being pressured under that guise alone in terms of being a unified front and taking a position that, you know what, maybe you shouldn't participate in these games. But that's obviously not something that's going to happen, because as one player told me, you know something, when we dreamed of competing for a championship, we certainly didn't dream of winning it for Donald Sterling. We dreamed of winning it for ourselves. So I just think it's emotions of the moment right now, but there is no doubt that they are livid, to say the least. I'm not going to say physically hostile, but emotionally, spiritually, verbally hostile. They are not pleased at all. It's embarrassing, it's uncomfortable, and it's highly, highly offensive. And if it's highly offensive to their loved ones, their family members, their friends, their confidants, you can best believe it's highly offensive to them. That's the attitude that they have to deal with right now, because it's something that's permeated their entire locker room, and it's something that the coach, Doc Rivers, from what I'm being told, is scheduled to meet with the team a little bit later on today, have a team meeting to try to get them prepared tomorrow, because they know they've got a game to win. I have not spoken to Doc Rivers, but the players that I've spoken to, they've had this kind of mentality. They're pretty ticked off.